It's John and Rachel, you Jagoff late
night.
And number 16, which means we're old enough to drive tonight, and we're going to drive this baby home.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was a horrible dad joke.
You went dad joke on them on a star-studded night. Yes. Are you so stoked? I know I say this all the time. I mom this because I always say, oh, this might be the best one yet. We have not reconvened with our friend Arthur Moats in quite some time, and we get to chat with him today.
Yeah,
So.
And Lindsay Ward here from KDK.
First time ever, so that's
Right.
why that's so exciting.
Yeah.
And Caleb, who forgot his guitar.
We're going to get into that.
We need to find out how he thought he was going to perform.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
So
before we get into
that, if you're listening to Q92.9, make sure you come back here every Friday at 10 o'clock and listen. If you're listening on the podcast channel or watching on the YouTube, Facebook, make sure you subscribe because we would appreciate it. The other thing we appreciate you do is share it.
Yeah, make sure that you're saying like, hey, have you checked this out? The really cool thing is thank you, because we've heard from a lot of people that you like what it is. So tell us some other guests we should be getting on here. People with unique jobs. You guys, we don't always have to have these big namers like Lindsay Ward and Arthur Moats. We want to hear from people who are everyday people and what in the heck they're doing.
Someone who's like stellar at their job, like Michaela Hall. Or Monica.
Oh, that was
right. How about that?
That was really good. All right, something that we do every single day is write a blog post about Jags. So we make sure that everybody remembers that the term you Jagoff to us is a term of endearment. So that means we go to the airport, we go to Giant Eagle, have you been you Jagoff? However, we would be remiss if we didn't call out the people who can be Jags.
Yeah, and some of the basics are people who park. This one here is a pickup truck taking
we all park.
4 spaces, right? People who take up. This came from Kathy, our friend Kathy. And she got a picture of this truck, and it's literally taking 4 spaces, like not even close. You didn't even pay attention. I don't know if you were on your cell phone, whatever you're doing, but you didn't pay attention. And thank God it wasn't Christmas season because, holiday shopping season, because it would have been an ugly thing.
You literally took one for the team every day this week. So then number 2, we talked about the sink.
Yeah, so the ladies' restroom sink. Marie Popchak, who used to be in Pittsburgh Today Live,
friends.
right?
Yeah.
She gave us a picture of all this water pooled on the edge of the sink, and you know what that's like when you go to the restroom, and if you suddenly bump up against it, and then when you walk out, it looks like you've done things in your own
John's
pants,
making the motion that you tinkled, that's all.
Right,
Yeah.
And so clean up after yourself, you Jagoff. Like your mom doesn't work here, clean up after yourself. And the third one was a restroom Jagoff too.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, before you even go on to that though, isn't it terrible to think about how women, we're supposed to be these like delicate flowers? Because we leave not me, but people who use the women's bathroom leave it in such disarray that it makes me want to vom.
Yes.
All right, go to 3.
3 is a urinal. It's a gross picture because there's urine in the
It's a urinal,
But the fact is, there's a sign that reminding you to flush. Like that, you don't do this at home, do you? You just flush the toilet, you Jagoff.
Right.
Right.
But
It's
you know,
gross.
I guess when
Gross
people are in public, they're like, oh, it's not mine. I'm totally not making excuses. It completely infuriates me. But I don't want to kind of give a precursor, but I'm going to. So why say I'm not going to? We were driving last week, so you may see this pop up this coming week. But somewhere near my house, so right around this area, there was work being done. And the flagger's despicable. And don't worry, because I don't drive and I was the passenger, I snapped that picture.
It's hard to believe that the flagger didn't know how to use the flag. That's a good tease, right?
Yeah.
In the meantime, we have the podcast tonight. We have to thank Dryer Event Wizard, and we have to thank Rohrich Automotive.
Yeah.
And we also have to thank People's Gas for being our sponsors. You'll see their names pop up here throughout the podcast.
Yeah, and thanks to Q92.9 because we're in this cool studio yet again where we are going to go in and talk to some of our guests. So we kind of let off with it because we could not contain our excitement. But Arthur Moats is so near and dear to us. We started with him literally, 8 years ago? So we've known him for quite some time. We've not been able to see him for about 2 years now. We've seen him, but not on the show. And we cannot wait to catch up with him, see what's going on. However, we've never interviewed Lindsay Ward.
And she's here, and so is Caleb again, with a guitar because a stunt guitar just got here.
Well, let's hope that's what's inside that case that he brought in because he didn't have it initially. Anyway, super stoked for another good night, and we hope you stay with us and listen in on your Jagoff Late Night.
Rach, I have to vent. Here's my dryer vent. This one time, I found a Lee press-on nail in my dryer stuff, and it was not mine.
Vom in the throat. One time, my kids left Kleenexes from one of their worst whooping coughs in their pocket.
Guys, you guys are such jagoffs. That's not the type of dryer venting we're talking about. We professionally clean your dryer vent to increase your dry time and save you guys some money.
For 4 hours. Like 10 pounds
you
wet.
Jagoffs, you need to get your dryer vents cleaned.
At Peoples Natural Gas, we provide clean, safe, reliable natural gas. We're always looking to get cleaner as we continue to protect our environment. And that's also why we support organizations like the National Aviary that are focused around the clock on conservation. Let's hear from them about some of their efforts.
A lot of people know about the National Aviary, but not a lot of people know all the conservation work that the National Aviary does. We are part of a lot of conservation work out in the field, and we do things here at the National Aviary. Staff members like myself are part of a lot of different projects. To learn more about the conservation work that the National Aviary does, you can check out our website, aviary.org.
We're also always working to make our environment cleaner through our work. That's why we've reduced emissions since 2019 by 17% over 2019 figures.
There's a huge trend that's happening in the world right now, and that is called curl cult. We're so thrilled to be among the first group of salons, along with Danny's Hair Loft. If you remember the perms of the past, where it was like, oh, real curly, kinky, and all these crazy type of perms that were done, you would wrap them with straws and sticks. But the problem was that you had to try to figure out how to rinse it. A lot of times when you have coloring, highlights, thermal styling abuse, and also the environment all working with our hair, those are the three main reasons why hair becomes sensitized. We are now creating all experts with the new curl cult revolution. This is the wave of the future, as we like to say, and we're so excited to bring this to not only Pittsburgh, but really to this part of the continent, curl cult.
John and Rachel, you Jagoff Late Night, and we're back here in our little guest area here, which is, our guest is Lindsay Ward, but Lindsay, before we even get to doing anything, have you ever been interviewed so closely to a thermostat?
I
like
have
if you
not.
Just for those listening to a podcast or listening to a podcast
that we don't know
there's
what it goes
a door
to.
and a handle right in your face and a thermostat.
We're like, Lindsay, come to our cloakroom and we're going to interview you.
I've never even been interviewed on this kind of contraption that you have
really?
going on.
Oh yeah.
I love that she called it a contraption.
Yes.
She's used to looking at giant stuff.
Giant things blaring in my face. So this is a nice change of pace.
No, well, we're happy that you're in our face because we've always been around you, but we've not really met. So that's why we said we're so excited to finally get you on, because as we were saying before we really started, talking to everybody else, you do such a good job in the morning. And that's easy to say, right? Yeah, tears. No tears, but it's partially you guys portray this family atmosphere. We said this about the PTL folks, but KDK is the hometown station and you can feel it, know? And again, we've known John Shumway for a while. We know Ron. And you fit right in that we were like, we know her too, but we don't. Oh. So now we have to get to know you.
Thank you. I mean, that is so incredibly, first of all, sweet of you to say. It really is. And one of the things that I love about it is the fact that, cheesy as it sounds, we're friends on air, but also off air. And, I enjoy going to work. I really do. Even though I have to wake up at 2 a.m.
Right.
And drive in exhausted to be there at 3:30. I look forward to doing my job, and
that's so wonderful to hear.
Dead honest about that. I mean, the hours are brutal.
Sure.
Full disclosure. But besides that,
it's worth it.
It is.
Did you always like news? Like, we've talked to various journalists and people who have been in the news who say, I prefer, the more magazine-y style things. But are you a news, preference? Is that sort of?
It's
depends on the story.
Yes. And I will say yes, but no at the same time. There's actually one point, I would say almost 10 years ago, no, not that quite, maybe like 7 years ago, I actually applied and interviewed to be on QVC.
Oh, wow.
Stop it.
So, because I love talking and doing the whole showing of a product and an item, and I did a slew of interviews.
Did you meet Mary Beth?
No.
Okay,
I met executives, like
okay.
those kind of top people,
Yeah.
and they flew me to New York, and then I was with all these like commercial people who do like, they were there for like Kraft and all these other like fancy companies and stuff, and I was so nervous I totally choked, to be honest. I went in there, I had to be on camera, which you would think that I would know what to do, but it's so different.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm so comfortable in front of a camera reading news and ad-libbing and giving you the breaking news and really making that connection with my co-anchor. But when it came to that, they were like, okay, well, can you take that product and can you show us what you would do in selling it? And I was like,
Oh my God.
I was like, sure.
Oh,
And I was like, why? I mean, I think it was because like, it was like this, there was like 5 of them staring at me, and then they had these huge monitors, and I could see myself in my peripheral vision, and I was just like, and so I knew
that chick is selling toasters.
I
And
know.
you're like, wait.
I know. So the first round was not good, and they're like, well, we'll have you come back and try again. And I did the second time, a little bit better, but they ended up responding to my email a couple weeks later when I asked them, hey, what's the next process? And they said, thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's
that's
okay.
all.
I tried, and I feel at peace that I've tried, and I'm okay. My
But
mom's
you
like,
also found a home at this point.
I did.
Now,
I did.
I can't remember. Did you grow up here in Pittsburgh?
I'm actually from Indiana County.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm
So
more in the
you're good.
sticks.
You're
so
fine.
Yeah.
you know
Western
the
PA.
tradition of what KDK.
Oh,
When you walk
100%.
in those doors, I mean, sure, it's great to walk into any place of employment and
Oh,
be
I
gainfully
know.
employed, but to walk into that place with the history.
I know.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's even celebrating 75
75
years.
years.
Right now,
Yeah.
But just the history that's been in that building for years, right?
I know. And it's sort of one of those moments where like I step back and I think about it. I'm like, oh, well, this is, these people are big deals. Like,
Sure.
Especially like John Shumway, who's been there for so long. He'll hate me saying this, but I did grow up watching him, right? And I remember, it was like probably about 12 years ago. I was working at a different market, a different station, and I ran into David Highfield, and he came up to me because he's just friendly David all the time, and he's like, hey, I just want to let you know, I followed you on Twitter. And I was like, oh my God, David Highfield followed me on Twitter. And I was so starstruck.
Sure.
And then little would I know all these years later that I would be working
that's
right
your
next to him.
co-host.
And so
Yeah.
it's a pinch me moment. It really is. I don't know if he remembers that, but I remember.
Yeah. Well,
So-
but that's what's important.
I know.
It's the history that's there, and
Yeah.
he is that guy,
Yeah, I
and you're
know.
that person too. And what's going to happen is soon enough, people are going to come in and say, "I want to work with Lindsay Ward."
For those listening or watching, you may hear the noise, and it's funny because our
Lindsay's
set
not-
is just. I'm sure when you've ever hit the desk.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
Oh my
our.
God.
It's our
You're
set.
fine.
When you hit the news desk at KDK, I'm sure it doesn't rattle like
It
that.
doesn't.
Right?
It doesn't rattle.
But we have a very well built set.
Do you have a gold lame tablecloth at KDK?
Well, I mean, the set, it's had some scratches
okay,
and it's
yeah.
a little discolored in some areas, but it's sturdy.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
I can say that.
So we were talking before we came on as well that you recently hosted PTL. You
did.
said you loved it.
Yeah.
You had done it one other time. I was
Yeah.
mistaken. I thought it was your first time, but
I
you've
know,
done
it's
it one
okay.
other time. Yeah. And what was that? How different is that? Because truly, and I say this in the most, complimentary way. You deliver news, but then you were able to throw this other hat on and be like, Heather, why are you shoveling snow? Like
Yeah.
it was just this very natural segue, right?
Yeah, I think I was trying to channel my
Your own children?
Well, that thinking of that,
Yeah.
at the same time where I felt for her at that moment, but at the same
Sure.
time, like they were just having a blast. But I was just. That's the whole like hosting that I do love, and
Sure.
I attempted to be in, but as you
Yes.
know, I
Yeah.
failed.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, well, this time around, maybe it won't be so bad. And of course, with the people that you work with, they make it so easy.
Yeah. Oh,
for sure.
They make it so easy. And of course, me working with David every
Oh,
day,
yeah.
that
It's already there.
ease was already there. And I worked with Heather for a period of time on the morning show, so that was wonderful as well. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where like I can really just be me, and I know like it's just cheesy as that sound, as I said before, but it's just have fun and just talk and
But when you're not on air, what are you
Yeah.
doing? I know you have two little
Yeah.
ones. What is something that you have gotten so accustomed to in the city?
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, the one thing that when it comes to like with Tulans, I have a 4-year-old and almost a 10-month-old, and we just take them everywhere.
Yeah.
So if I'm like, hey, you want to go to a brewery, bring them along. So we're that family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, people look at us like, why are you pushing a stroller inside this brewery? And I was like, I want to drink.
But I
want to have a drink or two.
Places are
I got
conducive
kids
to it now. Yeah, for sure.
And, I mean, and of course we get there at like 4:00 because we're not late people because I got to put the baby down to sleep. So we like to do that. I love the Strip District. So we frequently go there because there's so many fun things to do and shops, and kids can entertain themselves with bowling or whatever, and arcade games. There's stuff there, and we really do make a point to travel into the city, which is weird. I don't live in the city. We don't live in the city, but we make our way into the city because I love it.
I love it there. Yeah.
I love
it. I agree.
Even downtown, I just have fun.
It's so crazy. And I would love to start at one end of the Strip District and eat my way
I knew
down
you were
to the
gonna
Chinese area.
Love it.
Hey, you go home just like you need a wheelbarrow to get home, but in the meantime, it's been a lot of fun. Right.
Yeah.
So
I don't know who would think of a wheelbarrow though. You've thought about it
to get my belly home.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Didn't know where we were going.
All right. So we have to ask you. We have a question of the day that we'll ask you in a second. But the big question is, did you bring something for our junk drawer?
I did. You can have this.
I love this. Okay. So any story behind it?
Yes.
Okay.
So our newsroom recently went under a major renovation.
Sure, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like it's all fancy and all new. So prior to that, they gave us these little hard hats. I don't know what this is.
There you go.
Yeah, and
everybody, a little hard hat for those listening. It's a hard
is
rubber.
It a squeezy
it's a squeezy hard hat.
I'm not sure what you do with it.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like it's a rule that anytime anyone goes under construction, you have to buy that, and it has to be gold.
Yeah,
right?
Black and gold for sure,
the
right?
colors.
Yeah.
Well, for sure, but I feel like in Pittsburgh, it doesn't matter what you are. You're doing black and gold, right?
This is true. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
And so I had that in there, and I was like, they were like, hey, if you want this, take it. And I was like, well, it's just collecting dust. So I literally chucked it in the drawer and never saw it again.
So I got from one junk drawer to the other junk drawer.
There you go.
I love it.
Yeah.
That is such a good. Thank you.
It was appropriate because it has KDK on there. So
there
you go.
We will remember. That's exactly right. Lindsay, we're so glad that you got to come on. Where can everybody find you, follow you? Do you are you the kind of person on social media who's showing things I know you share news stories.
I do.
Your kids as well, or are you kind of?
I'm a big Facebook person.
Yeah.
Just because it's easier, and I like to be able to really kind of a long description if you want, because Facebook allows you to do that, all those pictures. I do like Instagram, so I'm on there, and X.
Okay. And where can everyone follow you then?
On any of those.
Lindsay Ward.
Yeah, just look under you can find me, Lindsay. I'm on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. It's Lindsay Ward TV, and then you can just find me on Facebook. Just Lindsay Ward is fine. I'm not KDKA on there necessarily, but you'll find me. I don't do TikTok because I know if I were to download that app, I will go down this dark rabbit hole and watch videos for 4 hours and wonder what I did with my life.
Right,
so
and your kid will be 14.
Yes. I'm like, I'm not doing it. Yeah. So I don't do
Lindsay
videos.
Ward, question of the day. Have you ever used a parking chair to save your space?
I have not, but my neighbors have.
Okay.
There you go.
I love that you knew you needed like a quick
you're the stealer. That means you're the one that steals their parking.
Well,
they're doing it because of you.
Yeah.
That or sometimes if they steal my spot, I go find them and I tell them to move.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
I learned so much about the QVC lady.
You're like I'm like,
excuse me, I got kids. I need to get in my car. That's a great excuse. Then they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, miss.
I love it.
We'll move it.
I love
Lindsay
it.
Ward,
Lindsay,
thank you so much for joining us.
I'm so glad. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Jagoff late night next.
There's a huge trend that's happening in the world right now, and that is called curl cult. We're so thrilled to be among the first group of salons, along with Danny's Hair Loft. If you remember the perms of the past, where it was like all real curly, kinky, and all these crazy type of perms that were done, you would wrap them with straws and sticks. But the problem was that you had to try to figure out how to rinse it. A lot of times when you have coloring, highlights, thermal styling abuse, and also the environment all working with our hair, those are the three main reasons why hair becomes sensitized. We are now creating all experts with the new curl cult revolution. This is the wave of the future, as we like to say, and we're so excited to bring this to not only Pittsburgh, but really to this part of the continent, curl cult.
Today, I'm trying to make some Italian spice chocolate cookies that Mrs. Crisosimo used to make for me on my birthday and Christmas. And then Linda Faloshi did the same thing. When you make these cookies, you know somebody loves you for giving them to you because they are a pain in the to make. The cookies are an Italian chocolate spice cookie. And this is the recipe I have for right here, all handwritten. And you can see it's had its day. Got all the stuff to make it. You'll see they get very sloppy. The recipe makes a ton, so I've laid out a full table getting ready for it. This is the part where Mrs. Crisosimo told me that I'm a wimp because I burned up 2 hand mixers and broke 3 wooden spoons on this dough. I know you're gonna say, how's that possible? And she used to say, you gotta have muscles. We're gonna spread some oil out on this counter so that our hands cannot be sticky.
That was a weak point. I'm not sure if we're on or not, but it's John and Rachel. You Jagoff late night. And John Chamberlain, you were actually our G-Jet this week because you made some really cool cookies. Miss Marie, right?
Yeah, Mrs. Crisosimo used to make these chocolate cookies for me when I was younger. And then I tried to do them, and I try them every Christmas, and I did make them. They are a labor of love, and now I know she loved me a lot because they are a pain in the to make. They are awful to make, but man, they taste really good.
Taste good. All right. How excited are you about the guy sitting across from
Right, the guy sitting across
Not as
from
excited
us.
as me.
Forever.
Yeah.
All right, so go for it. This is where you get to just give a really good introduction.
Don't cross the moats. How was that?
I love it. That was
He's
beautiful.
making fun of me.
That was beautiful. Listen.
I feel like
that
he's
was
being
beautiful.
sarcastic right
I
now.
used to look forward to whoever had the greatest, the best question for the day.
Yes, right.
No.
That's the best intro.
Right.
Oh my.
She has Vince McMahon locked down, right? She beats him with that kind of
We don't
intro.
want Vince today, all right?
Let's talk about.
Yeah, leave him out of this.
Right.
We don't want Vince today.
Right. Yeah, who needs Vince when there's Rachel Renner?
Yeah, we got Rachel.
Arthur Moats
Brother
so
Rachel.
much that I faked everybody and said he was coming on our first You Jagoff late night. I literally, let me preface this. I had to text Arthur and say, I think you know me well enough by now that I promise I did not leak to people that you were coming on the show. We wanted you. The question was, who's coming on? The answer was David and Heather. I then said we wanted Arthur, but unfortunately, along with them, unfortunately, he could not come on. And they printed it anyway. And it looked like I was saying Arthur was coming on.
But it was all good. It was all good. She reached out. I said, don't worry about that.
So
man.
many people email us says, I can't believe that Arthur. We thought he was a nice guy.
And we were like, nope.
He stuck it to John.
He's such
and
a no-show. That guy over there, man.
So let's just get caught up to date. It's been 2 years since you've been here. Just give us like the last. You were on our radio show. We did like a holiday version of it.
Yes,
with you.
indeed. Yes.
And so what's been happening with your life since then?
Man, crazy in terms of just football, work, kids growing up.
Yeah.
I have a daughter that is driving now.
Oh
like,
my God! Yeah.
Driving. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother
And
experience.
going to be a senior.
Don't
sorry,
rush
I
me.
had
Don't
to.
rush me. We started having this conversation the other day of, are you ready to start picking out where we're going to be taking our visits in the spring? College visits. I'm like, oh.
How do you feel about that?
It's the gift and the curse.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
excited because this is what you want, right?
Sure.
You want to see the full, story.
Sure.
When you're first born, when you're growing up, middle school, high school, and now you get to college, it's like, oh, this is great.
Sure.
But then at the same time, the older they get, you got to understand, hey, I got to kind of let go a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that's always a unique dynamic.
Yeah.
Then you throw in me and my wife, and we're both different in the sense of she's like, no, they're not leaving. I'm like, hey, I think they got to go just a little, but they don't have to go far.
Yes,
keep them close.
exactly.
Keep them close.
Yeah.
So we got this rule right now. We're talking her into a 2.5 mile or 2.5 hour radius.
Yeah.
2.5
You're
mile
like,
even
so
better. Trust
we
me.
moved
Yeah,
near Point Park.
Have you heard of this virtual school situation? All right,
Get the professor next door, right?
Hey, you can go. You can go to all the parties, but just come back home. Just
Oh
right
my
here.
God. Yeah, right.
So that's the dynamic we're in right now. But
Sure.
it is a great space, and like I said, man, seeing the children grow up is just a unique time frame that we're in. But as a whole, man, life is good. We did have some losses along the way. Lost my mom. My wife lost her father. Back to back. But that's life, right? So you have to understand how to progress through it, and being able to lean into family, being able to lean into friends, being able to lean into people like you. It's always fun to be around. It's things like that. So that's kind of where I'm at with it right now.
This, just the way you're explaining that, it really tells me about, let's just talk about your book. Let's go backward to that, because this is the kind of stuff that people can get from your book. Talk about your book that came out 2 years ago.
Yeah, a couple years ago, man. But it's called The Moats Theory of Life. It's available at moatstheory.com or arthurmoats.com. And man, we talk about these principles, man, how to overcome adversity, how to handle success, relationships. I mean, all the different things that I've kind of experienced throughout my life. And I always said it was an active piece of work.
Sure.
Because it's something that I still utilize daily. And, when you handle adversity or even success, like I typically go through a lot of, unfortunately this year, it's one of those things where you got to lean on those principles. And that's why it's like you make time for yourself. Yes. You understand that it's okay to have emotion. It's okay to be excited, sad, whatever is in between. But you can't stay there all the time either.
Yes.
And that's the stuff where it's like, man, the same stuff you wrote, now you're just taking in, you're the breathing, living version of that. And it just adds to it from my perspective, man.
Yeah.
But, that's kind of my mindset with it. Instead of it being woe is me, you use it as, man, we never complain when you had all the success, so you can't say woe is me or complain now that you're having some adversity as well.
Yeah. Now, do you think the stuff in your book is what you've lived? Do you think it's what you learned when you when you go to the NFL, they put you in all these classes how to stay, on course and protect
Remember when you and
yourself
John were
all this
there?
kind of things?
Well, me and John.
We talked about it in the gym.
Listen.
And,
he got the wheelbarrow, and I was in it. All right. I told him he got the wheelbarrow for the belly. I said I need it for valet, so I put my feet up.
So that was my workout. Is
team.
running him
Absolutely.
up and down the strip district.
Yeah.
But what's in the book, is it life lessons that you went through, or is it things that certain mentors taught
so
you?
It's actually a combination of both.
Yeah.
I bring up a ton of things that I personally experienced because I understand that not everybody experiences what it's like being a professional athlete or that whole 1%, right? But at the same time, it's like, man, there are a lot of similarities in my life that, a lot of people go through. So I just try to take my personal experiences and break them down to make them more relatable to others. Mm-hmm. And then when I hear some of the teachings from a person like Coach Tomlin, or when I talk about some of the stuff that I might have learned from Mr. Rooney, it's like, man, you find ways to articulate that within the story. And I mean, I talk a little bit about how I use things that I learned from my professional playing days just as a parent. In terms of consistency, showing up, the standard being the standard. What does that mean in the Moats household? Well, it means we're going to operate with respect. We're going to always have a certain level of character, and we operate with our values regardless of how convenient or inconvenient it might be. Things like that. Positive affirmations. Because I remember when I played, man, I had a coach that would get on me really, really, really bad. Let's just say my smile wasn't as bright when I was communicating with him. But then I would think about those coaches that still can motivate you, but at the same time, they did it with more positive reinforcements. Instead of saying, hey, man, you're not good enough, they're saying, hey, man, you way better than what you just put on tape.
Right.
It's the exact same thing, but just a different way to speak on it. So that was, some of the things that I included in the book because I felt like it was relatable. And we all go through, whether you're being a parent or whether you're in the workspace and you have to work well with others, leadership roles. So I kind of looked at that and made this hybrid, documentation. And that's how we deliver it to people.
Yeah.
And I mean, Rachel's seen it a little bit, man, just in terms of the space and where it can go. We could be talking to educators, high school teachers, right? Or you could be going into a professional team and you're talking to the athletes there, the 1%ers of the 1%ers. You can also go to your armed services people, Marines and stuff like that. And you can still communicate and there's still going to be a lot of carryover for both, parties like that. Yeah. So, when I thought of it, that was kind of how I wanted to cast that wide net. And, here we are.
Well.
And he references that because you came to my school
Yeah.
and you talked to the teachers versus the students. And
Very
I thought
true.
that was the cool part for them to be able to have takeaways as far as how they can be better educators as well. Not from their, what are they teaching from their textbooks.
Right, from an
but
X's and
just-
O- yeah.
right. I love, anything you do, we're 100% behind. You have truly become the epitome of what Pittsburgh is. And that's a lot for Pittsburgh. That's not an easy thing because you weren't born here. Listen, you weren't born here,
Hey,
but
now.
we all have taken you in. You have made this your home, but more so, it's like everybody is like, oh yeah, Arthur. Like they think that you've been here. You've literally done that.
Well, I was going to say,
successfully.
coming June,
Yeah.
I will officially reach the 10-year mark. And that
What?
was when I said to myself, I will be in a Yinzer. That makes me official Yinzer, all right?
You're right.
I had to
We
get
have to
10
have a
years.
Yinzer
Yes.
So,
party for
yeah,
you.
June is going to be my 10-year
If you
mark.
don't think
I'm
we're
like,
having a Yinzer party, you have something else
Yins.
coming. Yeah.
All right.
Arthur, Moats,
I'm trying to go to the Giant Eagles. Okay. All right. Yeah. Downtown.
too articulate.
All right.
Wait, but give him
Okay.
your Jagoff.
Yeah. I want some babushka. That's what I want. All right? I want a babushka guy. Yeah.
I don't even say that, so that's pretty darn good. That was good. That was really
Never
good.
that in years.
Arthur, for
That's
people
so funny.
who somehow don't live around here, where can they find you, follow you, know all about the things? Because it's not just listening to you on the radio. It's not just reading the book. You have an amazing podcast that John
I
said you're
appreciate
over
you.
100 views at this point.
Yeah,
you
man,
know?
it's been a long journey, but we have crossed that 100-view threshold. I appreciate you, John, on that, man. But yeah, for me, man, I'm easy to find. You go on YouTube, type in my name, Arthur Moats. You'll see me up there. If you go on, any internet, arthurmoats.com. That's the website. And then on social media, type in Arthur Moats. It's always verified, or at The Body 52.
Body, right.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, you did that okay, but I think I said don't cross the moats a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
One more time, do it one
No,
more
because
time.
I can't replicate that.
Oh, no,
from the
it was
last
one
one.
and done. It was perfect. Come on, man.
You
And we got to
both made fun
document it.
of
That's
me.
all we
And
need.
remember when I used to hug you and say, I don't mean to mom you, but I just love you. Those days are done because you made fun of me with John. So, Arthur, did you bring us a junk drawer gift?
I did, and
Okay.
it is one of my favorite junk drawer gifts because
Okay.
it's actually a big reason why I'm still in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So this is a letter from 2014 from my oldest, Kayla, who is 17 years old now. So she was 8 at the time when she wrote this letter, and it says, I love you. You are the real MVP. I hope you have a good day at work. Tell your teammates I said hi. Love, little homie Ava and KK big homie. P.S. Tell your coach to re-sign you. Because in 2014, I had just finished up my first year here on a one-year
chills.
contract. And my daughter, we had hit it off at the school. Everybody loved her. They loved me. We would go up there. And her friends, teacher was like, yo, we know your dad's coming up on a contract because he's going to stay. Are you going to stay or y'all going to move? So she was a little bit worked up about it. So I told her, it's not in my control. If you want me to stay, you need to write a letter to Coach T to get him to give me more money. Because at the time, negotiations had stalled.
Oh my God.
So literally, he hits me up. I'm not even talking to the team anymore. He hits me up the day before I'm about to sign with Atlanta.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I walk in with the letter. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And we get the deal done. And if I get back to my daughter, and I'm like, hey, babe, it worked. And ever since then, I always keep it with me. Absolutely. It's in my junk drawer. But yeah,
him.
it's
We have to take
one
a
of my
picture of that.
favorite letters. Absolutely.
Oh,
Arthur
my
Moats,
God.
seriously.
8 years old, man.
This is
We'll never forget it.
That is so awesome.
Oh,
wow.
my
I want
God.
to cry, actually.
That
Jesus.
was
So that's the
beautiful.
big reason why we stayed, because prior to that, negotiations had stalled.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I had literally had a deal completely done with Atlanta, and it was literally just 24 hours and we're flying out. And that happened and literally changed the whole narrative. So,
And
yeah.
knowing your family, I know how important that was to you.
Oh, massive.
Oh, my God.
Which is why I keep the letter. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Arthur,
Oh
you're
And
my
it's also
God.
funny, too, because, she's super cool now.
Yes.
But when I show her, use Big Kobe KK, huh? Use Big Kobe, huh?
Oh my God, that's
That is
amazing.
so good.
You're the primo. Seriously, let me ask you this question of the day: have you ever used a parking chair? I think you have not.
No, I actually
Yeah.
have never even heard what a parking chair was.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're a driveway guy. You've been a driveway guy your
Okay.
entire life, right?
Now, I will say I've had my parking spot stolen when I was in work. Buffalo Bills, Mario Williams. He had just had his $100 million contract, and I was driving a Buick Rendezvous. He parked his Ford GT500 supercar in the spot, and he just left it there.
Who does that?
$100 million guy with a $500,000 car. And I was like, got you. So I've had that happen, but yeah, I don't have a parking chair. It hurt my heart. I needed one for that part.
Yeah, you would have needed a parking chair.
Yeah, you get it.
The parking chair.
You're almost the insert.
It's kind of like don't cross the moats. It's don't cross the parking chair.
That's what I needed. Don't cross this because when it parked, I was like, what is? Oh. Got you.
There you
and
go.
the coach was like, yeah, you move yours today.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Got it.
Arthur, you have to stick around. We're going to talk to our musician, Caleb, but you have to stick around because
it.
we have one other little segment with you. Thank you as always. We adore you.
No, I appreciate you as always.
Thank you. Stay with us on your Jagoff Late Night.
People used to celebrate hard work, the spirit of the underdog. You don't hear too much about those things anymore. The world needs more problem solvers. People who know results matter. Folks with brains and elbow grease. Our work runs through just about every office building in the city like a network of veins. It's not what you are that makes you a steam fitter. It's who you are.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich, I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars. And you can drive real far.
We're here in Lawrenceville. It is cold, it is snowy, it is the new year. So we're thinking, let's stop at some places and see how we can cozy up our homes because we're probably spending a lot of time in them for the next couple months. And our first stop, Rosie's Workshop. It is so cool. We're going to talk with Claire Costello, the PR and marketing manager here, and she's going to show us what they have to make things cozy.
What can you do now to make your life more cozy and fun? Yeah, take you guys along to our sock wall. So our sock wall here, these are always buy 4, get 1 free. They're super fun. We have a sock for everyone. So we actually have little popcorn socks and movie theater socks. We have tacos, sushi, fun sayings like out of order here. Hi, I don't care, thanks. That seems to be a vibe right now. Everyone's just kind of inside hanging out.
John and Rachel, you Jagoff Late Night. We are coming out of...
Michaela's our new pointer tonight.
She's a good pointer.
Earlier, she was kind of going like this.
She didn't Edgar us.
With that right now.
Yeah, exactly. So we're coming out of Tressa, one of our Jag braggers. She actually headed to one of my favorite neighborhoods of all time, Lawrenceville. Arsenal House. Rosie's.
Yeah.
Those socks, did you see? What were they, guacamole or avocado? Oh my God, I think they're the cutest things ever. So it's where you at, and you need to go check it out because there's a bunch of cool places there.
And if you have an idea for where you at neighborhood, little micro neighborhood tour, let us know. And we have to thank Dryer Event Wizard for always being a part of our Where You At and our cheat chat. So time for music.
Yes. How do we want to set this up? Well, we're not going to music yet, right?
Right.
Okay. Because we're going to chat with Caleb. Caleb, you came in like a breath of fresh air. And it's Kopta, right? We're saying this right?
That's it.
Because you're going to be famous someday, and you don't want people to call you Kopta. And they'll be like, oh, I heard this guy Kopta, but he's not Kopta.
Well, if everything goes well.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, it will.
I mean, look, you're on your Jagoff.
Or not. You know?
Let's talk about how your agent was like, I'm going to get you on your Jagoff. And you were like, cool. You had no clue, but you're like, I'm in.
I'm one. You know, I was.
There you go. So let's give a little bit of the story here. You were the first person to show up tonight for
Super
the podcast,
thrilled.
right? And you walked in, you're like, hey, what's up? And then your brain hit the skids because...
Yeah, so I pulled up and thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, yeah, I packed everything. I'm fine. We're good. And I look over. My guitar is missing. It's nowhere to be seen. I'm like, okay, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
I forgot to bring my guitar.
Yeah, and that's why you're here.
Forgot. And so I'm here, guitarless.
Yeah.
I'm just doing a cappella tonight. It's going to be beautiful.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, 3 weeks ago, John came without mic stands. So it happens, and now we don't use them because
I showed up at an ice hockey game without ice skates. I had everything but the ice skates.
Oh, my God. My son just did that last week.
You know, I wish all podcasts were like this.
Oh,
you actually
really?
have to hold the mic.
You like it better?
Oh, yeah?
No.
So you gave us a brief I love them, right? You gave us a brief background. You're from Cochranton.
That's right.
Yeah. So I said I only recognized it because of Conneaut. You know, if you're driving north, people sort of know that area.
So far away.
Yeah, but you said it is so far away to us, right? But you said literally 1,200 people in your town.
Yeah, so I grew up there. A lot of cows and Amish people, but 1,200 people. Really small little town.
Yeah.
I went to school. My graduating class was 40 people, which now in my life I'm just coming to find out that that's not normal. Like,
yeah, right.
People actually graduated with like 600 people, and that was like
I
you
graduated
didn't know
with
everybody.
33, and it would have been 34, except one of the girls was pregnant in Catholic school, and she was sent to the catacombs.
Yeah, but see, you were in Catholic school.
Telling you, that's what happened.
Right, yeah. So 40, and now when you were in your 40 people senior class, were you playing music in the band at that point?
I
or
was.
What were you doing? Yeah,
I was, and I was a horrible student.
Is that right?
Yeah, my band teacher, probably to this day, still, can't stand my name.
Probably doesn't follow you on social media.
Oh,
right?
I doubt it. But yeah, I mean, I was a bad kid because I thought I knew it all.
Okay.
I've been playing music since I was probably 5.
Okay.
So I've had the knack for it. I had the knack for it in high school, and I thought I knew everything. So.
Sure.
That was how it worked.
Yeah, understood.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? That's exactly right. Do you play another instrument other than guitar?
I do. So I started on drums when I was like 2.
Oh, wow.
So very young. And then moved to guitar.
Okay.
And vocals. I started songwriting when I was like 10.
All self-taught?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the crazy part, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know what I'm doing.
Sure. But you're learning as you go. Yes, you do. You're learning as you go. Right? You're learning as you
Yeah,
go.
that's it. I learn every day.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of it sticks.
Yeah, it does. I can tell that it does. How would you describe your type of music for someone who hasn't heard of Caleb Kopta?
Well, I always like to say that I'm the great value brand of Harry Styles.
Oh.
It's like pop rock,
yes,
a little bit sad, a little bit romantic.
Okay.
A good song to put on when you want to cry or kiss somebody, or both.
Or both.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Cry
okay.
and kiss somebody.
Fair. Okay. The best news that we could say though is that February 23rd, coming up so much around the corner, you are dropping your first song, and it's the one that you won on that other radio station that we can't talk about.
Yes.
But we're proud of you.
We're not going to talk about.
We're not going to say their name, but we're proud of you.
Right.
Well, I'm proud of you guys, and I'm thankful that you guys are big supporters of my life.
We are. Look at us.
Well, the cool thing is that your song, is that the song you're going to play for us tonight?
Yeah.
So that'll get played on another radio station, which is right here, Q92.9 FM.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that song's called Outta My Head.
Yeah.
I'm putting that on February 23rd, and that's part of a bigger project that's coming out later this year.
Okay.
It's the first single of the
album.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you going to release like singles, like
I was
dripping
just
them
gonna ask
out?
that, yeah.
Or no single?
That's
then
a secret.
10? Oh, breaking news here at you, Jagoff. Get that bumper. Breaking news.
No, I have plans in the works. I'm not like totally certain. And for me, what I'm learning is that the more that I plan something out, the least likely I am to actually stick to it. So this one, I'm just trying to keep it loose so that I can actually accomplish something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deadlines are hard for me for some reason,
So how does that go for your writing, though? You don't set time frames like every morning until 10 o'clock I write? Or anything?
I should.
Okay.
Yeah, I really should.
He's like, that's a good idea.
That's my current battle. Is
that right?
Meeting the muse.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what is your sort of style? Do you have certain times that you want to write, or is it just when something comes to you?
When you want to kiss, when you want to be sad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. It's like
You relate to so many of our guests. I'm sorry that I'm here. Wow. You and Arthur, you're wheelbarrowing.
Anytime I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I could really just use a good cry right now.
Yeah.
That's the
I do
moment.
that every day.
No, yeah.
You need
So
I need to listen to your song.
Sounds
Yeah.
like you need a guitar.
it's an ache in me. It really is. It's like an
Sure.
ache in me where on a daily basis I just kind of sit there going, "Oh man, I want to write. Like
Yeah.
I want to get it out of me.
Sure.
Yeah.
I want to express it." So the problem is that half the time when you write things,
Yeah.
no, sorry, like 80% of the times when you write things, it's not good. It's not good, and you don't want to show anybody what you do.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what works for me the best, which is crazy, but I'll sit down for like 45 minutes and imagine that I'm trying to write an album on the spot. And,
Okay.
that's where like a lot of my good stuff comes from because
The pressure.
yeah, it's the pressure. It's
Yeah.
I think just like the stream of consciousness, just like sitting there like searching, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Wow.
Fair
Wow.
enough.
Man, this
You're
is
deep.
heavy
You went
duty,
from
right?
silly to deep in the
Right.
manner
It's
of.
just
Yeah.
like-
I think you need to read the Moats Theory on Life book, right?
We'll
there.
get it
Yeah,
for you.
I pre-ordered it, so.
He used to have them all the time. Like in his car, for
Yeah.
people.
Right,
Seriously.
right,
I mean,
right.
but he's on to other
Yeah.
things. Apparently, he now has this podcast. So,
Right.
anyway, did you bring us something from your junk
I
drawer?
did.
Oh, my God.
I did.
So stoked for this.
And I'm glad we talked about writing because it goes back to that.
Okay. You're
This
very
right
color
here.
coordinated. Yeah.
So everybody
Yeah.
on the podcast that's just listening to the audio part.
It's a composition book.
It's a little mini
It is
composition
a
book.
composition book.
I love that.
Right.
And the reason why is because I like to write down my thoughts, and I never do.
Okay.
But I
So
like
it's
to.
blank? Is it
Yeah,
blank?
this one's blank. This one's for you.
Thank
This
you.
one's for the Jagoff podcast.
Thank you. We will write some things in and we will channel our inner Caleb.
We appreciate the heartfelt gift that you just gave us.
Yeah.
for presenting
Yeah,
us
you're
with.
awesome.
Well, if you guys have any lyrics to write down, just put them right there in the book.
And we'll pass them right
And
along
send them
to
back to you. Mail
Yeah,
them
send
at
it,
P.O.
send it
Box.
back. I'll finish the song.
But listen, in all seriousness, so your song drops February 23rd. We're super stoked so that we can hear more about it. Where can everybody find out more information about you?
Well, I mean, the internet is a great place to
Yeah.
be in 2024. So
Okay.
you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, X. What do we call that today?
Yeah, it's
Is
X.
this-
Yeah, you're good.
I'm on TikTok. I'm really bad at it. I'm so bad
same.
at TikTok. Like,
It's okay.
Yeah.
kind of get stuck in the rabbit hole too.
Yeah,
know? So-
right. Like Lindsay said. I get
Now,
it.
our question of the day is maybe up in Cochranton you had to do this, but have you ever used a parking chair to save a parking spot after you've shoveled out the snow? Seems like there's a lot of snow in Cochranton.
I just don't even know
never.
who our guests are today.
Right.
But we all have driveways there.
Yeah,
so like,
yeah, makes
nobody
sense.
has to worry about.
Okay.
In Cochranton, parallel parking doesn't exist.
Oh,
so people
okay.
don't know how to do it. They come down to Pittsburgh and get so
Panic.
confused. Yeah, literally. Seriously,
Yeah.
that's what happens.
But this is the big city, he told me.
Yeah.
From
it is, it
Cochranton.
is.
This
When
is
you're
like-
coming down from Cochranton on February 23rd to hang out in Pittsburgh and download your song, make sure you know how to parallel park.
There you
before
go.
right.
get here,
Fair
right?
enough.
Or
Don't
find a
forget.
driveway.
All right, so we are going to take a break, but we're going to come back and listen to your song. So tell us now, what's the name again?
Out of My Head.
Can't wait. We're excited.
February 23rd.
All right. Are you ready? Are you nervous?
Oh, I'm terrified, but it's going to be so fun.
All right. So we're going to hear a little song from you, get a little 4-1 to-dos going, and then we have a little something special for later on. Stay with us on your Jagoff Late Night. PittsburghUsedCars.com. With hundreds of used cars across 8 dealerships throughout the city, we provide the greater Pittsburgh area with a premium used car buying experience. Looking for unbeatable pricing on some of the best used cars in Pittsburgh? Visit Pittsburgh Used Cars Clearance Zone today. We're providing out-the-door pricing on all of our clearance zone inventory. PittsburghUsedCars.com. Mancini's Bakery, 97 years in business and still getting better. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram. That's where you will see various Pittsburgh personalities like Gretchen McKay, Super Bowl MVP Santonio Holmes, KDKA's own Mary Hours, and WPXI's Jenna Harner, learning how to make the famous Italian twist bread. Follow Mancini Bakery on Instagram and Facebook, and remember to ask for Mancini's.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich, I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive, where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars, and you can drive real far.
It's winter in Beaver County, but on January 27th at Beaver Station, it's gonna feel like summer. The surf rock band, the Boss Stingrays, will be there playing that great surf rock music. There'll be Hawaiian beer, free lays. It's gonna be a good time. If you never saw the Boss Stingrays, they play all those old classics by the Ventures and Dick Dale and Pipeline. It's just gonna be good January music. Get out there. Beaver Station, tickets available. beaverstation.org. I'm Scott Tatey. See you there. And looking ahead to next Thursday, the Byam Theater presents a stage version of Moby Dick, featuring 7 actors, 50 puppets, video projections, a drowned orchestra, and a whale-sized whale? Wait, what? You know what? I'm going to come out of the rain. Speaking of rain, John and Rachel, do you know the rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain? It's true. Or at least that's what they'll be telling us this Tuesday at the Benedum Center with the opening of My Fair Lady. This fresh revival of the famed Broadway show includes such timeless hits as I Could Have Danced All Night and Wouldn't It Be Loverly? Loverly indeed. My Fair Lady runs through February 4th. And one more for the 412 to-dos, the Unplugged Brunch at 11 a.m. Sunday at the Hard Rock Cafe with Pit Floyd, Pittsburgh's Pink Floyd tribute band. I hear the mimosas will make you comfortably numb.
What's up? I'm Caleb Kopta on the Jagoff podcast, and this is Outta My Head. As if I told you that I want you. Yeah, well, baby, could it be so bad? Tell me, could it be so bad? I'm just a kiss, I'm just a hug away. Yeah, I'm a rainy day. Won't you shine on me? Only shine on me. 'Cause all I ever do is wake up by sleeping, wake up. Won't you roll me over? Can't get you out of my head. Can't get you out of my head. Out of my head. Can't get you out of my head. Can't get you out of my head. Hey, and if I told you that I want you, yeah, well, baby, could it be so bad? Tell me, could it be so bad? 'Cause I've been dreaming about you. Yeah, and it's driving me mad. Oh, no. So come on in and show me around. Let me wander. Lightning, thunder, you. Yeah, I know that you're wild ocean. Every emotion opens the door to your bed. Can't get you out of my head. Can't get you out of my head. Out of my head. Can't get you out of my head. Can't get you out of my head. Hey.
I've been thinking about you, but you get under my skin, babe. Yeah, I've been dreaming of you, so let me know if the fire won't blow out, the fire won't blow out, can't get you out of my head. Can't get you out of my head. Over my head. Can't get you out of my head. Can't get you out of my head.
Rach, I have to vent. Here's my dryer vent. This one time, I had found a lead press-on nail in my dryer stuff, and it was not mine.
Vom in the throat.
Ugh.
One time, my kids left Kleenexes from one of their worst whooping coughs in their pocket.
Guys, you guys are such jagoffs. That's not the type of dryer venting we're talking about. We professionally clean your dryer vent to increase your dry time and save you guys some money.
For 4 hours. Wet, like 10 pounds
you
wet.
Jagoffs, you need to get your dryer vents cleaned.
At People's Natural Gas, we provide clean, safe, reliable natural gas. We're always looking to get cleaner as we continue to protect our environment. And that's also why we support organizations like the National Aviary that are focused around the clock on conservation. Let's hear from them about some of their efforts.
A lot of people know about the National Aviary, but not a lot of people know all the conservation work that the National Aviary does. We are part of a lot of conservation work out in the field, and we do things here at the National Aviary. Staff members like myself are part of a lot of different projects. To learn more about the conservation work that the National Aviary does, you can check out our website, aviary.org.
We're also always working to make our environment cleaner through our work. That's why we've reduced emissions since 2019 by 17% over 2019 figures.
People used to celebrate hard work, the spirit of the underdog. You don't hear too much about those things anymore. The world needs more problem solvers, people who know results matter, folks with brains and elbow grease. Our work runs through just about every office building in the city like a network of veins. It's not what you are that makes you a steam fitter. It's who you are.
I've been thinking that Rohrich Automotive needs a new jingle.
Rohrich Automotive got the best cars around Pittsburgh.
Driving a Rohrich, I bought it at Rohrich. Picked up my new car at Rohrich Automotive. I got friends at Rohrich Automotive where the staff is nice and the dealership's loaded with brand new cars. And you can drive real far.
Late night, I'm telling you, I am so happy we got to hear from Caleb because he is just a ball of energy and he reminds me of my son. So of course he's really, really good, but we have to make sure you're following all of the guests we had tonight. But listen, in case you have lived under a rock, you do not know that we are playing Name That Tune, you Jagoff, all for good cause, coming up on February the 9th. It's John and Rachel with Monica, Erica J, and Steve Rohan. And we are playing against Team PTL, which will be David Highfield, Heather Abraham, Daisy Jade, Mikey Hood, and Katie O'Malley. So we take this very, very seriously because we're playing for charities. We're playing for 412 Thrive. They're playing for the Turkey Fund. And thanks to small businesses like Mancini's and many others, we are going to have a little pot that we give to them. Not pot like, good pot. It's like a good donation pot. So anyway, we will give all the donations to the charities who are the winners of Name That Tune, you Jagoff. So we thought our teams need to play. So guys, I'm disappointed that I'm not playing, but are you in? Did you like my pot? Was my pot thing funny?
I thought it was a good pot, not the bad pot.
Good pot.
In. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that I've ever had it either. All right, so here's how it's really hokey. Lindsay, get used to this because you have this state-of-the-art, place that you go into, we are literally going to use Monica's cell phone. She is going to play a few seconds of a song, and you guys literally have to pretend a buzzer is in front of you. Do this. Whoever I deem the first one.
It's a little rickety.
Show me again. All right.
Whoever I deem the first one, don't fight with me, is the person who gets the answer. If you get it wrong, we go to the next person. You do not win anything good. I'm not giving you junk drawer stuff. It's just for fun. Okay?
Let's do this.
Everybody in.
All right.
Ready, team. Monica, I'm ready to have you play that tune.
I'm nervous already.
I wasn't good at sports, so.
We're off to a great start.
Oh boy. There's really not much. All right, Monica's going to give you a little. Monica is going to give you more.
Oh, I know.
That's the one.
What is it, Lindsay?
Is that
yes.
one? It is that
Is
one.
this totally clips of the
Totally
heart?
Clips of the
Bonnie,
heart.
Bonnie something?
Wow.
What's
You're
it?
really good.
Oh,
You're
I
coming up
love
with-
this song. I just played it on my Alexa the other day.
Did not have a chance.
No,
Oh, I
you still
can't
win.
sing.
You still win.
Okay.
All right, Lindsay with round one.
Let's go.
All right,
That's
I know
major.
Monica
That's
is
major.
literally Googling other songs. So we're going to give her a second.
Say Bonnie something.
You
What's it Bonnie?
guys, she didn't give us
Very
any
good.
lyrics, so that was tough.
Can you at least tell? Like, I need to hear the 30 seconds of that song.
Oh,
I've
not
never
30.
even-
Where's
I've
the
never
word?
heard that. Seriously, what was
What
that?
planet do you live on? You don't get 30
no.
seconds.
I'm saying, now that we know the answer. I've never heard the song.
That is like one of my faves, that's for sure. It's totally Eclipse of the Heart. All right, Monica, are you ready to play Name That Tune on the next one? All right, here we go, Monica.
Hotel
Yes.
California, the Eagles.
Oh, that was
is.
really good.
There it is.
Caleb,
Let's
it's like
go.
Monica knew.
Let's
Welcome
go.
to the hotel.
Love it.
All right,
Love it.
Monica, you're
Let's
already
go.
ready?
Let's
Round
go.
3. Arthur,
Let's
you
go.
got to catch
Football
up.
team,
I
though.
do. No, it's teamwork. I'm on.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm +1. Yeah.
Team.
All right, Monica.
Oh, don't stop till you get enough.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson. I know the Mike now.
He's my favorite. Yeah. All right, so it's a tie, right? So we still have some time. Can we go another round? All right, Monica, are you ready for the next one? All right, go, Monica.
Ooh, that sounds like a Rod Stewart. But who? I don't know what the song is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's definitely right.
Oh, son of a.
I don't know the catalog. I'm gotta be honest.
Wait.
Is that Maggie? Yeah. It's
Yeah,
Maggie
that-
Mee, right? Maggie May or something? It's
No,
Maggie.
May.
It's Maggie something, man.
Maggie.
I just keep.
Maggie does.
All right, Arthur, you get it.
Yeah, it's Maggie something.
Yeah.
I don't know the rest of the word. It's Maggie something. though.
I don't know. I just keep thinking of his raspy
Yeah,
voice.
that's-
Monica, Maggie. It was. I didn't even think it was
Yeah.
May. There you go.
I was right there.
Yeah.
That's how that's
You
absolutely.
did.
Yeah.
And I told him no.
He got it.
All right, so Arthur's in the lead. Monica, next round.
What a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. Oh.
You
In
got it.
Vogue.
My bad, my
Okay,
bad.
go ahead. Not In Vogue. It wasn't In Vogue. Salt and Pepper. Go ahead.
Oh.
That was like super quick.
She can't even. Oh.
You were worried you weren't gonna win
I
this.
know, right?
You know,
Well,
like,
these are
you
older
were so
songs.
worried.
If you give me new
Here I am.
stuff, I can't do new stuff.
I don't know what
I can do older stuff.
Who was it?
You definitely know the song.
Hold
'cause you
up
was-
for one more time. Wait, those women, those girls.
She described the
Close.
music videos. Now it was a music
I don't
video?
know. I see a
So
face.
close, so close.
Oh,
It's Wilson Phillips, but I'll give
Wilson
it to you.
Phillips, yes.
You said hold on for one more day.
yeah, I did.
All right, so we have to go
Yeah.
one round to break the tie between
Okay.
the two. Caleb, you got to come in this, brother.
Listen, you know, I'm not
you
that.
you yelled Hotel California and then
Yeah,
you quit.
I know my classic rock. Give me
You
another one of
started
those.
off up top.
All right,
I was
Monica.
like, man.
Classic.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, the Killers. That was.
You got it.
Wait, this is the
It
Killers.
wasn't Mr. Brightside. It was. Was
Was it Mr. Brightside?
It was.
Oh. Wait, did you say that was a classic? I was really thinking. Okay.
Killers. one
Monica,
of my
that's a three-way
favorites
tie.
too,
You got to
man.
play one more. I'm sorry for the editing, but we cannot have everybody win.
90s, tell me.
Whatever you want. You surprise
Dealer's
us.
choice, yeah.
Not
Yeah,
the
that's
90s.
That's right.
Not the too young.
Yeah, what? There's just no good music then, except
Oh.
for Coldplay. So.
All right, here we go.
I disagree.
Super easy.
Okay.
I'll talk to you.
Oh.
That's it.
Oh
1, 2, 3.
boy.
Come on, guys. Wow, Monica.
Oh.
I feel like Caleb might know.
I know, it's not
Should we
ringing a
leave
bell.
him hanging? One more bar.
It's Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Shout out to Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, I'm still better with artists and not song
gonna get the
name.
name
Clearly.
Of it.
Yeah.
I don't know the name, guys.
I'm a casual Fleetwood Mac fan. That's too deep in the collection for me, man. Yeah, I'm like surface level.
All right, we're gonna give it to Lindsay because she at least knew the name. Lindsay is the winner of Name That Tune, You Jagoff. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Lindsay Ward, Arthur Moats, Caleb Kopta. Follow them all. It's been an amazing night. Thanks for joining us on You Jagoff Late Night.
I'm embarrassed.